Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Freaky Fast broadcasting presentation of the Maple Ridge Racing Series. This series is brought to you by Vermont Sim Racing and EPI Performance Industries. EPI Industries is your home for iRacing setups, schemes, apparel, and driver development. RaceEPI.com is the website you want to go to for everything sim racing. Take your sim racing career to the next level. This is Carl Pooler up in the booth with Zach Hall, and as always, Robert Morier Jr. as our producer. And you're not hallucinating, you're not seeing anything. We are super late models short track racing. Zach, I'm really excited to see what these guys got and see what these cars can do going around these short tracks.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun time, Carl. No doubt, indeed, man. Good to have you back up in the booth too. It's been a while since we've back going here with the group on Wednesday night, and we're back here, I think, with a really interesting league here with these super late model cars, and these are actually the newer updated super late model cars that iRacing brought about a half a year ago. So it's pretty cool to see the use of them and some of the best short track racing actions you're going to see here on the iRacing service with these race cars right here, and also one of the best racetracks in my opinion, Nashville Fairgrounds. I mean, this track and super late models are synonymous with each other, Carl. I think tonight is going to be a learning point for us, especially coming in. This is our second race of the season. We weren't there for the first week last week at Lanier, and now here at the Nashville Fairgrounds, we're going to get to see what these guys got a hold of as they head off into qualifying. As we'll see, the intricacies. How much will qualifying matter? Can you work your way through the field? How much does all this matter? And they're short races too, only 100 laps.
Oh, these 100 laps are going to be a time crunch for these drivers. I've been reading in the Discord that the drivers have been talking about how loose it's been, how bumpy it's been, and like you said, synonymous, Nashville Fairgrounds, this is a super bumpy track, really rough. And these cars, really tough to drive. They're all power, all mechanical grip. Aero will mean a little bit, but not as much as you normally see on such cars like these Cup cars and stuff like that. So it's going to be really fun to see these guys try to battle this track as it cools down, and the lights are on, so we know that the temperature is only going to go down from the 74 air temp it is right now, and these guys have got to be ready and hopefully prepared on these short and really cold tires, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, cold tires are going to be definitely treacherous. That's always, of course, this V7 tire model here on iRacing. It's that temperature is everything when it comes to making the speed, and we're seeing some of the first lap times come in. And I've seen a few guys that were up top near the board, especially the 51 of Zach Onson. He was the winner of last week's race. He actually there, I believe, made a mistake on his qualifying lap. Right now, only going to be sitting P3 on the board right there at the 18.139. It seems like those cold tires is what caught him out. A little bit of a sloppy lap there from him, but looks like Ronald Cole on top. And one thing I will say for us, Carl, right here out straight off at the beginning, sorry to anybody's names who we get wrong here tonight. We're going to try to get them better as the season goes on. If you do hear us say your name wrong, other drivers, just make sure you message me or Carl and let us know, and we'll make sure we get that fixed up for the rest of the season, because we definitely will be calling you correctly by your names.
Oh, definitely. That is super important. We want to make sure you get the recognition and the screen time, as we're seeing the 88. He looks like he might have had a false start, maybe just finished that qualified lap, but it looks like he's going to be there in fifth. Brad Hoggart, he's going to get stepped down because Stefan Hassett is qualified fourth there in the 91. So this is already, these times are getting quick sub 18-second laps up there at the front. So these guys are zipping around this course.
Yeah, they definitely are. Yeah, under 18 seconds around this track is pretty impressive. Over a half a mile. It's actually point 0.6 of a mile. So another, tenth of a mile there. That definitely adds a little bit of distance. And when these super late miles are super impressive. I mean, thinking back even myself, I don't even believe a Cup car can run that fast runner. And looking at this car, some of the specs of it, it's around 550 plus horsepower with the output of these engines here. But I tell you what, they're a little bit lighter than a normal stock car is too, about 2,800 pounds. So these things can really get around these short tracks, and you're going to see some fantastic racing. Is looks like the board has changed up. Looks like Mario has gone to the top of the board in the 41. I believe he's actually a past champion here at the league.
Mario Okolani is going to be fun to watch, as he just did a 17.709, so really, really fast. in retrospect here, RS Center in the 110 is going to be a 17.74. So these guys really close together, especially up at the front, and really trying to get. So with how loose and how light these cars are, Zach, I think front starting position is going to be key with how light these cars are going to get and how, especially as the fuel run goes on, the tires are going to wear. But these bumps, from what I understand, are really, really difficult to handle, especially going in 3 and 4.
No doubt indeed, Carl. The bumps are super treacherous, especially, down there off the exit of turn 2. It gets very, very bumpy there, and down in the middle of 3 and 4, it's also very bumpy. So it's kind of navigating those bumps, picking the right lane that you want to be in, and definitely staying very careful on those treacherous cold tires. And I believe we've only had other than 2 drivers that put down times, and we got about a little bit less than 40 seconds left here. Looks like that 41 may be able to hang on to the top of the board as the 29 of Mike Diamco and Patrick Baldwin Jr. are still on pit road.
So this is really interesting to watch because you have some of these 17.7s, 17.8s, and then 17.9s. So really within the first 5 cars, there's a lot of drop off there. I wonder, with as loose as these cars are going to get, Zach, is getting the moves early on going to matter, or are some of these cars going to come in, because this is an open setup track and not a fixed setup, so a lot of adjustments can be made, and these guys have been tuning all week long.
Yeah, that is very critical, and yeah, it's going to be key to keep up with this racetrack. It's going to change a lot as the night goes on, and definitely going to be interested to see who can get it done. But it looks like the time has come as qualifying has ended. It looks like Mario Ecrolini is going to be on pole.
Mario Ecrolani is going to be on pole, and there's RS Center in second. Ronald Coleman, 24 machine, is going to be their third. Peyton Hill there in the 4th position, number 48. The 5th position taken by Alex Marinelli. Sorry there, Alex. 6th place is going to be Stefan Hassett. 7th place is going to be Ryan Skelny. 8th is going to be John Piet. 9th is going to be Kurt Batty, and rounding out the top 10 will be Brad Hoggart.
Yeah, and last week's winner's going to start in the 11th position. That's going to be Zach Collins sitting there in the 12th spot. It's going to go to the 09 of Kevin Otis. 13th is going to be the 13 of Jonathan Dickerman. 14th is going to be Johnny Hurst. 15th is going to be the 19 of Justin Hamlin. And the last car on the field is going to be the 29 of Mike Amco. As I believe Patrick Baldwin Jr. is our race control for the night, as we got 16 super late models here for 100 laps at the Nashville Fairgrounds, Carl. This is going to be fun for our first time to watch super late model action here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting.
I'll tell you what, Zach, I'm glad to be back. I'm really excited to see and listen to these cars and how these drivers handle these cars through the run. 100 laps. There are no pit stops. There's enough fuel, and tires should last. So it's all classic, Saturday night racing. But here we are on Wednesday night, Zach. Great to be back. This is going to be really fun to watch as we see these cars grid up, and as they count down to green, Zach, I think patience is probably going to be one of the bigger factors, especially listening to the guys talking in the Discord. They're saying 10 to 15 laps for these tires to warm up, and it's so critical to keep that wheel straight on corner exit from what I'm hearing. So these guys are going to have their hands full as we get going here.
Yeah, I actually watched a good portion of the practice here tonight, and yeah, I've seen a lot of struggles off the exit of these corners. This car getting very, very light, it seems, as they come up off these exits as it unloads, and from there a little bit of wheel spin, and around I've seen a few guys parked into the infield walls, and hopefully these guys can navigate a little better. Usually when you go into practice, you push it that little bit harder and test that limit, and you'll make those mistakes where you step over and you're not as worried here on iRacing where we have a backup car constantly there to reset. But once this race starts, they only have one fast repair, so if they do that, they're going to have one mulligan to go back on. So drivers are going to have to try to make mistakes as those tires come up to temperature here tonight. But man, this is going to be fun to see, Carl. We got, like I said, 16 super late models here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. This is an iconic place for super late model racing. I'm super excited to see how these guys do battle, especially looking at our time sheet. These guys are very close when it comes to times.
Oh, especially on the short runs, qualifying times are really close together as the field spreads itself out, as the tires come in, as everything starts to warm up and get to all of the optimum temperature. These guys are going to start really getting tuned into this car, and we're going to see some great battles. As we see the pace car lights are off, so we are going green this. A lot of heavy hitters, like you said. The number 51 Zach Olson won last week, but starting there in 11th. So this is going to be really interesting seeing last week's winner try to worm his way through the field and take the win again. But as we're saying things, here we go. Green at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, like 16 super late models ready to go, and we are off with a great start by the number 110 of RS Center in that outside lane, followed by the 41 of Mario Arcolani. He's doing great just to hold that third spot position down. But man, these guys got off to a great start there, Zach.
Yeah, great start from that 110, no doubt indeed. The RS in the 110 there shoots off the top side and gets the lead here early in the go. It looks like a little bit of wiggle there for the 48 of Peyton Hill there from the third spot. He drops back, but the battling was from that fifth position on back. Looks like Stefan Hasse has been able to move from sixth up to fifth as Alex Marinelli has slid from fifth back to sixth. We've got a few cars wrecking in the back of the field, and that's our first caution of the night here at the Nashville Fairgrounds.
It looks like the 09 and the 18. Kevin Otis in the 09 and Kurt Batty and the 18 getting together there down the back straightaway. So a tough start to the evening for them, but we are going to go to the Freaky Fast instant replay. We're seeing the 09 get right up there. We see the 5 there. Don't know if that's a typo, but we see the 09 go into turn 3 and just kind of loses it and gets really loose on corner exit. And those are those bumps there. It's like that we were talking about. And he just loses it. And it looks like the 88 is going to get by him. The 13 is going to get by him. Man, a lot of people. And it looks like the 18 was getting loose too. But it's a really interesting thing that a lot more cars can get caught up as we see the looks like the 58 get to the outside wall there. But this is interesting already. Another restart already. Cold tires act already. Some spinning action. So these guys not giving it a break early.
Yeah, definitely action, no doubt indeed here. Already off the exit of 4, and it's kind of what I've seen from practice earlier. So these drivers are going to have to watch out for that early to go and let these tires build up that heat and air pressure before they really start to attack that exit off of 4. So we'll see how they elect to do that here. But the one thing I wanted to go into is only 2 sets of tires here tonight. That means we only have 1 set in pit road. But these tires, I will explain to the fans at home. If you have tuned into our previous broadcast, on our normal NASCAR, series style, racing asphalt series, those tires are very much different. The wearing characteristics of those tires are very different from these, I will say. These are more, I would say, less abrasive tires where they take a little bit more of a beating. So you're going to see these guys probably stay out a lot of these cautions. It's going to be interesting to see even when they do decide to pit. So that's one thing we're about to catch on, I think, a lot this season, Carl, is the difference in these tires from the tires that we're used to commentating before.
Oh, the tires are going to make all the difference, especially through the run as the pressures increase, as these tires wear. It's going to make all the difference, seeing where the rubber goes down on the track and walking with the line. I know a lot of people talk about dirt tracks, but especially on these short asphalt tracks, there is a little bit of line searching you have to do as the rubber gets into the track. So these guys are going to be fighting it all night long. And Zach, first damage we've seen. Will aerodynamics be as big of a factor? We're talking about the other cars and how and they go so fast, but these guys, I think max I've seen into the corners about 110, 105 maybe. So will the aerodynamics here make as much of a difference?
I don't think so. I think a little bit of damage here is not going to upset that car too much, but I will say, I'm not the most well-versed in this race car. This we could see a little difference. It could very well actually take a good bit of aero away from these cars. It looks like they have a little bit more, the way the update came with these more updated futuristic super late model body style seems a little more aero dependent to me on the way they look, but definitely still learning. Like we said, if someone does get damaged during this race, maybe we'll have to ask them how they fared with that for sure. So man, going back double foul here, Carl. We're going to go back green flag races. This time we're going to have RS on the bottom and Mario up top in the 41. We'll see, can the roles be reversed here, as that 110 up top was the one to watch out for on that last restart.
And that's interesting because he's going to be on the bottom in this restart. We'll see how he reacts with that, but I'm going to keep an eye on that 48 where he kind of fell back there early in the run but started to make a comeback and making a charge on the second place. But there is the 110 right off the bat. Great restart. Green flag is out again at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway with all 4 or 5 cars in the front all lining out early. So these guys not as much battling as we saw in the last restart. They're finally getting the nerves out, as it were, getting the tires up. We're about 10 laps in, and under a caution, especially with the run so early on, can you help these tires maybe heat up, swerve back and forth? Is that an idea with these short tracks, or we see a little bit of people get some looseness in that car? But gathered it up really well to see that that brake there. We see this little spin out, but here we are. Oh, we see a car, the 54, in the wall there in turn 4. The yellow is out, so these guys really struggling tonight to keep the cars under them.
Yeah, that was a major incident there, and that was due to 3 wide actions. We'll go back on the instant replay here off the exit of the corner here, coming down the back straightaway. You're going to see a car get loose there. That's the 91 there, Stefan Hassett. He gets loose. From there, the 51 goes to the inside, Zach Onsen there to make the move down to this corner, and then you're going to have also the 54 up top. And from there, they make contact, and man, all going sideways and just check it up the field. Luckily, it doesn't seem like a lot of the drivers there caught damage. It looks like Zach Onsen caught the worst of it, last week's winner in the 15 or 51.
Well, that's once again another restart, and we're gonna, cautions create cautions, and I keep saying it. I think it's true. It really happens, and we see it now. But these guys are, from what I understand, there's a lot of new guys getting used to how they race around each other, and again, with the cars being loose, I think that's really having everyone struggle. I don't know if going 3 wide this early in the race was the best move, but maybe that's what they thought was the best way to make up positions, because that's really ideally what you want to do, but there's not a lot of room on the 6/10 of a mile track.
No doubt, indeed, Carl. Yeah, it's a definite interesting move there to try to make it 3 wide, but felt like he needed to try to get something done. Now going to have a little bit of damage on that race car. And like we said, how much will damage matter? How much will aerodynamics play a factor? That is going to be the key we're going to have to see as we continue to pace here. But looks like that restart last time, from up front at least, RS Center there was able to do a very good job of controlling that restart. We see Mario there start on pole, not be able to control the first start. Then here comes the 110. He did a great job on that second start with control. So we'll see if he can do it again here in the 3rd restart of the race. But out front, it's that 110 RS Center.
And Mario isn't giving too much ground either. He's maybe not getting the best restarts, but when he starts exiting turn 2, I think it's a little bit better exit, and he can't quite take the line that he wants to do when he's trying to make the pass on RS. So this is interesting, fun to watch as these guys pace around. We should be coming up on 1 to go here, but as it goes down the back straightaway here on lap 14, a lot of these guys don't see any DNF so far, so everyone's still out and running. We've seen a couple of cautions, a couple cars get damaged, but no harm, no foul. Doesn't look too bad at the moment. But getting through, lap 14, starting on lap 15, I feel like these guys maybe trying to think about how they want to play these next few laps. And we did see him string out the first 10 or so, but maybe not make the move into the inside when someone has a mistake. Maybe give them a little bit of time.
Yeah, maybe we'll see that pace just that'll pick up a little bit, but you never know. The more the laps click away, the more the patience may drop. But definitely interesting scenes so far as those pace car lights are out. We're going to have that 110 up front, the 41 alongside. And Ron Cole's been able to stay strong there and hold 3rd. We'll see what he can do on this restart.
Here we go again. We see the Cole, the 48 be there, and there we are. The 110 gets a great launch out off the start-finish line, and again, we see Mario get right behind him, and everyone's starting to single file out. So here we go again, another restart. These guys really evenly spaced, at least in the top 3. It looks like the 48 there is trying to make a run on the, the 41, trying to make a run there and trying to get that 2nd position, as we see a 3rd caution. The 09 looks to have gone around again. So 3rd caution, lap 17. A lot of nerves out there tonight, Zach.
Yeah, these tires continue to cool off more and more, and I think that could have been another condition of that. Is The '09 of Kevin Otis goes around. I believe that's his second time here tonight. As we'll go back on the Freaky Fast replay, and this thing looks like it just went away from him very, very quickly here on the late exit. And you're going to see this here as they head off into 3. Is he's got that number 18 there directly ahead of him, who also has had that issue earlier as Kurt Batty there. So these two spun earlier, but now look at this on that high line, and it just breaks loose from that '09, and nothing he can do there. And oh, just a heavy collision, hit nose first into that wall.
They were talking about it earlier in the chat. Zach was all about throttle control and having a really feather-footed, almost like that, the egg behind the pedal. You don't want to crush it, but a lot of these drivers seem to be struggling with that, especially early on these cold tires. They haven't really been able to get them up to 10th temp. There hasn't been a lot of rubber been laid down so far, even though we're a fifth of the way through the track. So these struggles are probably going to continue until we can see a green flag run go long here, and these guys get settled in and see what they have.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a point where we're going to have to see, when they do get that run, who's going to have what, because just so many different heat cycles here. It's going to be a wild way to see how this all restarts. But RS has been in control of this well, as he's once he got that control of the lead right off the initial lap, and we'll see. Can we go green for a few laps here and really see what these guys have underneath them here for pace tonight at the Nashville Fairgrounds? It's going to be fun to see as, like I said, those bumps, everything about this racetrack just sets up for great super late model racing. Let's see some green flag racing now.
As we see the pace car pull off the track, these guys lined up side by side again, ready for the green flag, and there it is. 110 is off and running again, but ooh, look who has a great restart. That gray car on the inside looks like the 24 of Ronner Cole is able to take that inside lane away from Mario Ercolani. So easy pass there early on for the 24, but Ercolani is not going to take that no for an answer. He's going for it back, but doesn't quite have the run he wants, and the 24 looks like he had to gather it up a little bit on corner exit. But there Mario goes. Oh, the 24 gets loose. Oh man, I don't know what that he spun around. He's gonna lose a lot of position there. The 24 of Colt made a run. Oh, and there's the 18. Oh, and he had nowhere to go. Another caution wreck on the back straightaway, lap 23. So right as we get talking, action everywhere, another incident. So these guys really struggling with the track tonight.
Yeah, that's unfortunate too. Ronald Cole running up there in that second spot gets loose and kind of loses the rear end, steps it out, gets into that wall as he was, gathering his car up. Some of the field trying to get by there had a tough time. Looks like Stefan Hassett, along with I believe it's the 58 of Johnny Hurst. They're getting into it. Looks like Hurst was trying to come down the racetrack to make sure not to get into the 24s. I believe we'll see that here right there as he's up into the wall. And as they come off this exit up here off of 2, you're going to see here's the 91 and on the bottom, and there's the 58, and just trying to miss that outside, cuts down into the 91 and hooks him into the wall. And man, just a chain reaction event there, and that's what we call just unfortunate events for some drivers.
Unfortunate indeed, and no one is safe. That was the 24 of Ronald Cole. He was there, took second position away, and seemed to be maybe making a run on the 110 of RS Center, but got loose there going into turn 1. So not only the cars in the back struggling with the handling on this car, that was a front runner, and he had a great time in practice, great time in qualifying, just couldn't keep the car under him for that. So I think that would be one of the best gauges on see how damage will affect these cars, because he was up front and has been up front all night long. So we'll be curious to see that 24 march his way back through the field.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see how Ronald can do that there, and will he take a fast repair, because I believe Johnny Hurst just took his. Looks like Ronald Cole, he stays out anyway, so yeah, so he'll be keeping that car with that damage. So yeah, definitely interesting calls here, but seems like possibly the 58 has decided to take his fast repair early as he's about to exit off the pit road now. So 4 cautions already quickly here into the first 25 laps as the Nashville Fairgrounds says seem to be some type of a menace here for these drivers tonight.
And I know this is a rough track. I think I've tried a couple things on this track, and they're not easy. And then I've tried a little bit, I've dabbled a little in the Supras, and they're not easy. So I can only imagine the combination of these car and track for these drivers. But I want to the number 29 there of Mike D'Amico, he has gone from 16 to 5th, so he is really our hardest charger early on in this run, but those cautions probably really helping him out make those passes. But here we are, pace cars off, green flag in the air, 110 of RS Center is gone. Once again, a great restart. Mario Urcolani on his bumper, though, and then we see the 48 of Peyton Hill. He was in 3rd place early. He fell back a little bit, but he's taken the place of Cole there that wrecked and spun out there earlier. But these guys coming down the front straightaway, single file. Looks like the entire field to maybe calm down just a little bit to see if they can't get a good green long run in here. But these guys already driving really hard. The 110 with a nearly half a second lead already on the field.
Yeah, the 110 trying to open the gap up, and there it goes. Alex Marinelli there spun off of the exit of 4, and they're wrecking on the front straightaway as our 5th caution is going to fly as mayhem continues to happen here at Nashville. These guys are having a tough time tonight here at Karate. It's looking to be very treacherous again off that exit of 4. That seems to be the killer spot for these drivers.
Yeah, but that exit to 4 is really tearing up some cars, and the exit of 4, the entry to 1, it seems like just the front straightaway with a little bit of the back straightaway dabbled in there as cars start to get on top of each other, but the pace car is out again, and so this is interesting. Only a couple of green flag laps. We were talking about fuel, maybe needing fuel, may not have that. Tires aren't going to be much of a factor tonight, so these guys really is trying to get all that they can on the restarts.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to get a lot of it, but it just seems like it's just happening, just very much going away from these drivers off the exit of 4 and just having a tough time for a few out there. And I think the more and more caution laps we get here, the less heat. These tires just not getting into a good groove ever here as you're seeing more and more guys come down pit road. Looks like that's the 09 of Kevin Otis. He's going to come down and get his car fixed. Looks like the 88 of Brad Hoggett is going to come down along with the 17 of Alex Marinelli as all of these drivers get service here right now on the racetrack. As Ronald Cole comes back out, it looks like he's got his car back fixed up also. So, yeah, nice to see that 24 back fixed up, and we'll see how he can go and try to climb his way back through the field. But like you alluded to, Mike D'Amico really climbing through the field, 16th up to 4th there, and he was able to get by Ryan Scowney there. So that was pretty impressive very quickly from him on the last restart. We'll see how this 29 can do because he was quick in practice also.
Quick indeed, and there he is. He's up with the front runners. He had that front runner speed, so 29 maybe not quite an underdog, but definitely one of those drivers you want to keep your eye on through the run. So the 29, the 110, you see Mario Urcolani be able to keep that second spot solid, been able to hold people off, but can't quite make the run for first. So these guys in the front anyway are really battling it out. But as the pace car goes around, looks like they're lining up side by side, gritting up again for another restart. Yes, there are the lights out on the pace car. So another restart. Will we have another case of calamity down the backstretch? But I can't tell right now as we see. It looks like all the cars are still on the track though, Zach. So far, everyone trying to at least get on the track and get some racing in. But here is the pace car coming in on the pit road, and the green flag is out. Barney is ready to wave it. We've seen the 110 get a great run off of turn 4 on the restarts, and he is off again with a great restart from Mario. Looks like he's able to hold in there just a little bit better than he has in the past. And these guys side by side going through turn 1, turn 2. We see the 51 there low, trying to keep his line, defend his line. A little bit of damage there on the left side, but not looking to bother him so far. He's up there in 7th, but qualified 11th. So Zach Wilson with damage, being able to hang in there.
Yeah, hanging in there indeed in that 51 machine. They're making contact. Mike D'Amico and Kurt Batty. They're making contact on the exit. Look like D'Amico and Batty keep it straight, but it looks like the 51 Lawson going to make the pass now here for this. But we look back from Peyton Hill, see that 29 of Mike D'Amico.
Mike D'Amico is doing really well, keeping his car clean, keeping it straight off of the corner. So up there in fourth, being able to, and here we are, another caution. Looks like the 09 around again on the back straightaway. So that turn 2 just tearing up cars on exit tonight. So Zach, again, another cool cycle, another time for these tires to cool off and the rubber to get picked back up on these tires. It just doesn't make it any easier, does it?
No, it does not help at all, Carl. Definitely, and not being able to put the rubber down to help the grip levels. And yeah, Kevin Otis having a tough night. It's third time he's went around now in the 09. And he'll be the first one actually to pull it behind the wall here tonight. So going to be a 16th place finish for that 09 of Kevin Otis. Unfortunate break for him as he lost it off of turn 2 there. And it's just a good common thing we see, man. It's very, very tough to keep these rear ends stable off the exit. So drivers are having a tough time tonight. We'll see now what will happen here with strategy. I'm starting to expect if we stay in this, continuous caution loop like this, Carl, I don't see these guys hitting pit road probably.
Oh, definitely not. They've been able to save tires, save fuel, and it's been really a coasting kind of thing. You can clutch it in, you can just let off the throttle, stay in high gear. It's a lot of things you can do for saving fuel and saving tires. We're only allowed 38 on our 6th caution, but I'll take this moment to give a shout out to one of our sponsors. Got to give a shout out to ButtKicker. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V8 powered race car, from the ambient environment effects to the power of a nearby explosion. It moves a physical mass instead of air like a speaker, and it provides instant, accurate, powerful bass response. And better yet, it's perfectly in sync with every game. No additional software required. I know I love mine, but Zach, here we are again on another restart. These guys looking to try, at least the frontier runners, Mario Orcolani and RS Center, have kind of kept it clean and really just, their cars are straight, they're ready to go, but they can't really show that speed with all these cautions. Do you think it will come down to another restart later on in the race for this win between the two?
It very well could. So I mean, if you're Mario, you got to be thinking here, what can I do to start trying to figure something out if I need to make a move here on one of these restarts to try to get this lead if it is coming down to the end. That's what I would be thinking if I was in his shoes. And the same if I'm in RS's car. I'm thinking how I can defend. How can I make sure I get a good clean restart, change it up multiple different times. And that's the key, is to be just different. You cannot keep restarting in the same zone each and every time. It'll give you away very quickly. And I will tell you there that we got those few little laps there, that last part of that run, and Mario did have a good restart, probably his best one compared to RS this whole race. And he was very close to his back bumper area, and one almost took a look there in that last run, just had that caution. So we'll see if he gets another chance. Will he try to do it? Because, hey, if they keep getting cautions like this, he's going to have to decide to make something quick here if he wants to get back to that lead position.
And he's going to have plenty of chances to do it. This will be another one to give it a shot with only lap 41, so we're about 60 to go here. Lags out on the pace car, so he's going to have plenty of shots to go for it. We see him gain speed after things go green, but here we are once again. The 110 of RS Center has a great launch, but don't look now. The 48 of Peyton Hill looking to take the inside away from Mario Orcolani. We saw that happen a little earlier before the 24 had a spin there, and he did the same thing. So it looks like he's going to be able to hit it, keep it on the bottom, but Orcolani's going to make that pass on the outside and keep it running with 51 there. Avanson is looking really good after a couple spins early on. He seems to have crawled his way back up to 5th, starting at 11. So good job to him. Again, another shout out to Mike D'Amico. He is up to 4th after starting 16th. So a lot of these guys started in the back.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of different movement now as the exit off of turn 4 as RS tries to open up the lead. He had a great restart that time up front. We were looking at the 29, like we said, the biggest mover of all of the night. He's really worked his way from that 16th to 4th position. Behind him is Zach Olson, who's went from 11th to 5th. So 2 great moves for these drivers right here as they work their way down the front straightaway here into one. As it seems we may be going green here for a little bit. Maybe the most laps we've gotten so far.
So far, this has been the largest lead RS Center has had all race long, about 8 tenths of a second now ahead of the 41 51 of Mario Kart. He's starting to stretch that out a little bit. And we're seeing a little bit of stretch out between what looks like the top 7 of our cars versus the rest of the field. The top 7 are all single line, all kind of within arm's reach of each other. There's a little bit of a gap to the 24 of Ronald Cole. Ronald Cole, he was up there in front earlier making a move. We know he can have the speed, but maybe that damage is affecting him a little more than he thought it would.
Yeah, and actually, I believe he actually got his fast repair, so he's actually cleaned up now, and right now running in 8th, so he's gonna have to, yeah, make up some ground right here. So we'll see right up ahead of him. He's got Kurt Batty and Ryan Scowney there, right there in that 6th and 7th position, doing a battle. As you'll see if he can try to drive his way up into this. But right now, this is one of the closest battles we have on the racetrack. Is up ahead of him, actually, I believe. The 29 trying to make something happen around the outside of the 48. Can he do that around the outside? This will be impressively right on board with him.
Ooh, and that was a really, really close move there as he really pinched the 48 down low, but it looks like they're going to make the pass cleanly. As we were riding on board, you saw how busy his hands are. He's really working that wheel. There is no real security in this car. Still really loose, but they say Zach loses fast. Maybe that's the reason he made that pass on the outside. He was able to make that happen, but the 48 looks like he's going to diamond out. Turn number 2, brush the outside wall just a little bit going down the backstretch, but looks like the 29 is going to hold on to 3rd position while the 51 tries to make a move on the 48. So another caution is out. Looks like the 19 has spun coming out of turn 2. The 19 of Justin Hamlin, he looks like already having some troubles early on and just cannot quite keep it under him tonight.
Yeah, actually, I believe that was the 18 of Kurt Batty there, who got a little bit of help, I think, from another driver there. And I believe, as we'll see here on this replay, this 18 to get a little bit of help from the 12. Ryan Scowney is actually, well, look at the 19 now. So we must have had 2 incidents happening at the exact same time on the racetrack here as Justin Hamlin. Looks like he may have brought out the initial cautions. These incidents happened merely at the exact same time here as this is on the other side of the racetrack. So, wow, 2 different incidents and 1 yellow.
I'll give it a silver medal in correlated spinning, I guess, on different ends. Oh, and then we see, yeah, it looks like the 18 got a little bit of help from that car behind him, but it looks like the 18 kept it straight, kept it out of the wall, not a lot of damage there. Everyone kept it relatively clean around these guys, so a couple of spins, but no harm, no foul, no more damage to be had. Everyone kept their heads up and kept their everything paying attention and straight, so these guys doing good, at least in their wreck avoidance here, getting used to each other flying around here tonight.
Yeah, definitely a good job missing that wreck there for a few guys coming in there later, and good on even, you know, the 18 there. Kurt Batty got spun around there from the contact from the 12, but did a great job to keep his car straight and in a straight line, not rolling across the racetrack or such. So that allows your competition to be able to, you know, really make that decision to be able to try to get around you. So definitely interesting to see. Is I believe Kurt actually might lose a lap. Yes, he does on pit road in the 18. So along with him and Justin Hamlin, they're both going to go 1 lap down now in this race.
And that is so hard to overcome at a short track like this. It's really, really almost impossible unless you have that kind of speed. And strategy plays out, but it doesn't look like strategy is going to really have a factor in this race. We're over halfway, but we've had a lot of cautions, not a lot of tire wear, not a lot of fuel burns. So I don't think we're going to have any issues with that tonight. What there'll be issues with is short tempers, especially this early on. So much racing, so many incidents happening, and I can only imagine patience getting thinner and thinner as the race goes on.
Yeah, it is interesting, you know, that patience definitely will thin out a little bit, but it's definitely, you know, one of those scenarios where it's tough. It's very, very tough to, you know, these guys are making little solo spins that are, it just looks like the car is a little bit of a handful for them. So they're definitely trying to make sure they try to hold on to that. But we've definitely seen a few yellow flags tonight here for our 7th caution. And I tell you what, there's a product out there that would help you here for these yellow flags. It would definitely be iRacing iFlag. You can definitely head on over to iRacingIFlag.com where you can check out their visual flag systems that bring 64 LEDs with all types of information from yellow flags, green flags, black flags, blue flags. Even could give you spotter details. So make sure you head on over to iRacingIFlag.com and check them out, as they got the best iFlag product out there I tell you, you definitely are not going to want to miss out on that. It'll keep you in tune with your racing out there on the racetrack. So thank you to Irish Side Flag for being an amazing sponsor here at Freaky Fast Broadcast. It looks like we're about to go back green flag racing here, Carl, after our 7th caution of the night.
Yes, sir. Zach Barney has the green flag out, and he is waving it. The 110 of RS Center is gone again. The 41 of Mario Orcolon did not get the restart, but here comes the 29 of the Magazine Miko. He is doing a great job moving that car to the front. He looks like he tried to make a move, but there's the 48 of Pink Hill on the outside, not giving him that spot easily. And so these guys side by side down the front stretch. We've seen this get a little hairy further on in the pack, but these guys seem to be getting along just fine for now. But it looks like them side by side is slowing the cars behind him up just a little bit. To the 51 of Zach Onsen trying to make some passes as the 29 finally gets in front of the 48. But he has about 9/10 of a second to make up to get up to the front pack there. But Mario is certainly burning up the bumper of RS Center right now, as he is only a 10th of a second back. So he is ready to make that move, Zach. And with about 40 laps to go, these guys feeling the time crunch and filling those laps tick away. Oh, it looks like the 41 might have made a mistake coming out of 4, had to gather it up. 29 is going to make a pass on the outside down the back straightaway.
Yeah, going to look here again to try to make that move. Mario sends it in there on the bottom, trying to hold him off on this bottom side, but Mike in the 29 trying to get the best run off the corner he can there as they head off into 1 and 2. Is letting RS Center drive away from this field here on lap 61. It's still side-by-side action as they head down the back straightaway. Looks like Mario pulls ahead. He's going to get clear in that 41. What a power move from him, but here comes the crossover for the 29. A little bit of traction loss. Ain't able to make it happen, but the group behind them, they're scattering as everybody losing rear traction on the exit.
That was really scary, the 29 getting there on the apron on corner exit. These guys have been struggling on the regular track surfaces, so I had to hold my breath there a little bit. But we see a battle here between the 24 and the 12. These guys are battling for a couple of laps now. That's the Ronald Cole. He was up there. He started 3rd. And Ryan Skalny there. He started 7th up in 6th. Having a battle there, but it looks like Cole's going to get better and move in advanced position. But the 12 just kind of hanging mid-pack and not causing any issues, not making or having any problems. So good run for him, keeping it clean and keeping it on the track.
Yeah, having a great run for a few of these guys right here, but it's spread out more than we've seen so far. Maybe right here, let's look at this little move here from the 18 and Kurt Patty trying to make his way back up. He's going to get to the inside of Stefan Hassett. Looks like Hassett going to let that happen there as the 18 is going to go by here down into turn 1. Kurt trying to make his way back up there after his contact from Ryan Scowney earlier in this race. As we continue to put more green flag laps in, these guys having a good little run here as this field is kind of starting to spread out a little bit, get a little bit of differences in here.
Yeah, definitely, but that's interesting. The 18 driving this aggressively. He is a lap down, about halfway through the field, but he is quite a bit away from the leaders, as we see. So it's hard to say. I don't know. I don't know if there's any lucky dogs in this league for caution, but it's hard to. Really interesting to see a lap car be trying the battle and make passes midway in the field, especially this late in the race.
Yeah, that very well could be the case, Carl. Yeah, they could be looking at these drivers having to make it up the old-fashioned way. So back here to Alex Marinelli, who's had a tough day today. Started 5th, has dropped back to 11th now after being involved in a few incidents. As he's directly ahead of that 88 of Brad Hogan, as they're trying to really, make some ground up here to the field ahead of him. As Hogan looking to get to the inside there. Hogan's really had a good run, but now to look back up here to 2nd. Oh, so we got a caution on the racetrack now.
That looks like it was the 18 in the turn 4 inside wall with the number 5 as well. And that is the number 5 of John Pietz, having an issue maybe getting caught up there with the 18, but I think 18 was the initial spin. But we're going to find out here on the Freaky Fast instant replay as we pull it up there. 18 going into 3. I'm sorry, that's coming out of 2 down the back straightaway, going into 3 here. And like I mentioned earlier, he was a lap down, trying to work his way back to the front and make up that time. And it looks like he just got a little too aggressive on it, tried to catch it. Oh, hard contact into the outside wall. That is definitely going to be difficult to come back. And it looks like the 5 might have lost it just as well right behind him. But the end 5 is going to make it to the inside, and he looks like he keeps it out of the wall. So the 5, no harm, no foul. But the 18, oh, then he takes some damage trying to turn around. But the 18 is definitely going to have some issues.
Yeah, definitely a few issues there, and it's interesting to see it right down there in that same spot of the corner, almost hitting into each other. So, yeah, very treacherous indeed as these guys are trying to get a hold of that. It's going to be wild to see now. Mario definitely like to see that caution because he made a major mistake there to allow RS to get back out to that gap he had. Now we'll see when they reset him back up. Mario was putting a lot of pressure on him, and even Mike there. So this top 3 here, very, very strong. And even Ronald Cole, look, he's worked his way back up into the 4th spot now. So this is definitely going to get wild.
You know, I was looking at some stats there. Mario fell back to almost 9/10 of a second behind RS Center after that little mix-up he had. But after a couple of laps, he made it back up to 6/10. So he gained a couple of tenths on the leader during that run. So maybe it was the fact he had some clean track and could run his line. So maybe he's not quite as faster, but as fast as him. And making that pass is just that much more difficult because he just can't quite get the angle on our leader, RS Center.
That could very well be the case there, Carl. So we'll have to see how this all shakes out, man. As I believe we should be getting the 1 to green most likely this time. Yes, we do. Pace car lights are out as they cross the line to complete lap 72 there. So, man, oh man, 28 laps to go in this thing. We'll have 27 when they cross the line. I mean, we're under 9 cautions here tonight. This race will be over in a blink of an eye, though, if they keep it green, man. I'm telling you, this track, they put down burner laps, so we'll see what happens here, folks. Stay tuned because you ain't going to want to miss this inning.
Oh, no, we are doing 18-second laps. They are zipping around this course. However, loosely, they are doing it quickly, so these guys are really chopping them off and clicking them off. But here we go. Green flag again, 110 off to another great start. The 41 of Mario Urkalani trying to stay in the shadow. There's the 29 of Mike D'Amico. He started dead last, and he is up there in 3rd, so he is our biggest mover of the day, and he's solidly in 3rd, followed by Ronald Cole in the 24. Ronald Cole has had issues and has recovered from them and fighting in that front pack, so we're seeing the separation of the top 4 cars from the rest of the pack. There in 5th is 91 of Stefan Hasses, so that's good for him. You know, he had some issues and he's recovered. Started 6th up in 5th, so 13 as well. He's spun a little bit. He is actually a lap down trying to make it up. So again, on the march for 13.
Yeah, definitely on the march there. And that front 4 up front was, looks like we're trying to make maybe a move there on the 17 of Marinelli is looking at Val Peyton Neal now. We're trying to go to the inside 13, trying to make that move stick. Go back to what I was saying is, there goes around the 54 or otherwise the 17, Kevin or Alex Marinelli there. Looks like maybe got a little bit of help there from the 51. We're going to have to probably check that one out and see how that all played out because there may have been a little bit of contact.
Might have been, but I got to correct myself. I said earlier the 13 was a lap down. He is not. That's John Dickerman in 13th. But as we see, the 54, he's had a little bit of trouble as well keeping that car under him. He's going into 3, just gets a little hair off the inside line and just burps the throttle just a bit much. Gun on the exit, and ooh, that slowed up and had the 51 come into him. Last week's winner of Zach Onsen there right behind him. So I think it was just a little bit of combination, a little bit of a racing incident. The 54 had to get out of the throttle, was losing, and the 51 had nowhere to go there. So another caution here. That is our 9th caution on lap 79. Gonna give another shout out to our sponsors, Advanced Sim Racing. Advanced Sim Racing was founded in 2020 and is the fastest growing North American simulation chassis manufacturer retailer. They're owned and operated by passionate sim racers like you and I, and they design and build the sturdiest, most durable aluminum profile simulation cockpits available on the market today. So if you want anything rig related, they have zero flex, no weak points. These guys are great. Go check them out. Use the code FreakyFast5, all spelled out, for 5% off your entire order. Events and Racing, go check them out and buy some stuff. They're a great partner for us, and we love to have them on board with us here at the Maple Ridge Racing Series and Freaky Fast Broadcasting, here for 100 laps of super late model racing at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. It's been chaotic, Zach. It's been a little wild. A lot of cautions, not a lot of green flag racing, but the green flag racing we have gotten has been really, really exciting and really fun to watch for all these guys go around this track tonight.
Yeah, it really has been fun to watch this short track action. You know, we haven't got to see really a true long run to see what these guys got as the run goes on, who burns their stuff up, who is going to be a comer, who's going to be a goer. Just due to these short little sporadic runs, we haven't got a chance to really see that. But you got to think, most of these drivers out here are on the same set of tires they started this race with, so there's got to be a little bit of wear there. So we'll see how that factor plays into this next restart here, as I believe we possibly have got the lights out on the pace car. Yes, we do. So one to green here again, as we're under 20 laps to go. Carl, man, I'm telling you what, this could get a little spicy here. You know, we've had a lot of cautions so far here tonight, but this battle here is not over. RS Center's got to hit his marks. He has to do this perfect, because Mario in the 41 is going to be looking to take it off.
Oh, definitely, but Mario was on the edge. We saw him have a little bit of a bobble on the end of the run there. And here we are, green flag out. Green flag is waving. RS Center gets a great start, but Mario hot on his heels. He got a great start as well. In the 29 of Mike D'Amico, he is doing great in that third position, working his way from the back of the field. There's that 24 of Ronald Cole doing really good, recovering from a earlier incident, and looks like the 48s of Parker Hill is going to make a pass there. I'm sorry, Peyton Hill is going to make a pass and try and advance his position just a little bit. But these guys already getting on the restarts, but Mario really burning up the bumper of our leader.
Yeah, definitely burned him up for our leader, but at 91 is Hassett. He has a little bit of friendly, the 48 there behind him, who's going to be trying to make something happen. Here he's got his teammate Olsen up there in the 51, but definitely some good racing here going on right now. But RS Center, like you said, he's going to have a little bit of pressure up front, along with Mario having pressure from Mike. The 29 now to the inside up front for that second position. We're going to see what he can try to do. Couldn't get fully there on the entry, but now going to look again here on the exit. A little bit of a wiggle there off the corner. Can't get the power down. But some great racing going on here for the second position. RS Center loving what he sees out the mirror, trying to drive away here in the final few laps. As the 29 goes around.
29 gets a little too much on the throttle. He might have been driving out of the mirror, as the 24 of Ronald Cole was burning up the bumper, trying to make a move on him, as he was trying to make a move on the 41 of Mario Ercolani. And this may have been just a perfect storm, and it just overcooked him just a little too much getting out of the corner and spun it there. So unfortunate for our hardest charger of the night. Just a simple mistake, and it just goes to prove how on edge these cars are and just how difficult they've been to drive tonight.
Yeah, definitely been a difficult night for a few drivers trying to make moves right there. He just tried that late cut on exit to try to get the run and power off there on the 41, but it just comes back to bite him as he spins coming off of 4, and man, oh man, that inside wall bit, and he's going to have to definitely try to fight back from that now with not much time indeed. As we under caution here, I believe we're going to be under 10 to go. We get that green flag. RS Center, though, continue to control this race from really the start of the drop of the green flag. I mean, took the lead from that second position on qualifying, has never really looked back. Mario has been on the challenge, but just has not been able to get nothing done yet. But the race is not over yet. They say that's why they don't pay points here at lap 88. They pay points at lap 100.
Yes, sir. And these guys are just, you can feel the tension building as more and more of the front runners are kind of getting a little more impatient with that throttle and spinning those tires just a little bit more. We see the 41, he did it earlier. We see the 29 with great speed. He just did that. The 24 as well. He was up front. He's had to fight back from an incident. So these guys, no one immune from this. Everyone's dealing with a really loose, really skittish car, as it were. It sounds like they're driving on ice, but these the front two at least, RS Center and Mario Orcolani's drivers with the least amount of issues, I guess, and they've been kind of putting on a clinic, but they just can't get the long run in, and RS just can't pull away from Mario Orcolani. So it's been really difficult for both of those drivers tonight.
It definitely has, but what a battle back for Ronald Cole, too. We can't forget about him there in that third position. Also, Zach Olson, our winner last week in the 51. Look at where he's bounced back to right here into the fourth position after up and down night, and also Peyton Hill in the 48. Some strong cars here right up front as it's going to be a battle all the way down to the end here, my friends. As we're going to see who's got what. Pace car lights are out, and guess what? When we come back around, it's going to be 10 to go when they drop the green flag.
And to go, and it's going to be a sprint. I mean, usually these these short track races are sprints anyway, but we have a sprint within a sprint. 10 laps to go. These guys are gonna getting after each other. It's going to be interesting to see who can battle back and get to that lead position. RS Center hasn't had any competition all day long, and here he goes again. Great launch off of turn 4. Green flag in the air, but the 41 of Mario Orcolani getting down in there and getting right to the bump of the 24 of Ronald Cole is digging too, but looks like the 41 might have had a bit of an issue, going to hold up the rest of the field behind him, but RS Center in command of the field at the moment as he gets this the flag for 9 to go here, Zach. So Mario Orcolani not giving up though, he's right there.
9 laps to go down the back straight. Mario definitely not giving up here as they head down the 3. Driving through the center of the corner. Looks like he's going to close the gap a little bit. Gets a little bit of traction loss there on the exit, trying to get a little bit of time gain on that 110, but the 110 has the great exit that allows him to pull away here as they head down the back straight once more again. It's 8 to go as they head to 3.
Into 3 they go, single file to 41, a steady quarter of a second gap between him and the leader. RS Center 24, about another 3/10 back behind him of Ronald Cole. So it's a little bit of separation, even separation between the top 5 cars as they kind of break away from the rest of the field. With Ronald Cole in that 3rd position, followed by Zach Onson recovering from an earlier incident. And then Peyton Hill just having a solid day in the 48, staying in the top 5 all day long and just being able to stay out of all the trouble and all the incidents that have been on the track. He's been mired in some stuff, but he's had a really solid day so far.
These laps are closing down so quickly. Coming out of 4 here. It's going to be 5 to go with the leader RS Center right here. He has not built the gap that he probably wants to yet on this 41. He's hoping for some type of mistake here to give him a little bit more breathing room, because right now the 41 keeping the pressure on as they're becoming to 4 to go. If he gets closer and closer, that's going to set up for something on that final lap.
Oh, he's there, Zach. He's within striking range. The front 2 are all by themselves. Mario can taste that win. He just needs to get into the right position, and I think he's there. He may. Oh, looks like we have a car in the wall down the back straightaway. That, and we have another caution, our 11th caution of the night. 3 to go here. We're not going to see this battle build. We're going to have another restart here, Zach. So here we are. This is for all the marbles for the checkered flag for these guys in the front row. But we're going to go back to the Freaky Fast Instant replay and see what happened. Oh, and that's the 48 of Peyton Hill. Oh, that's just unfortunate. I just mentioned he was having such a great night, staying in the top 5. I'm going to have to apologize there for you, Peyton. Didn't mean to give you the broadcaster's curse, but that's just, it looks like he got loose on corner exit and just whacked that inside wall there, Zach.
Yeah, just unfortunate for him, man. That is, man, we'll see, if he can bounce back. Oh, actually, there, he just dropped out of the race due to that. So, yeah, that's unfortunate there. It seemed like that was a heavy hit to the inside. And, oh, man, one final green-white checkered attempt, too. Only one here at Maple Ridge is a 1 attempt green-white checkered. So, ooh, these guys got one shot at. What does Mario do? I mean, we haven't seen him be able to do it yet, but he's going to have to make sure he comes off of turn 2 on this next restart here and is on that back bumper of that 110, because he wants to have something to set up there on that final lap to possibly go for this win. Or will RS be able to continue the dominance he's had on these restarts?
Well, I think Mario Orcolani was getting and sizing up RS Center there in front of him. He was actually waiting a little bit. So this is going to be fun to watch. I think he's going to have that line. He was sizing up the line, and I think he may have something up his sleeve for it. But this is going to be fun to watch as we come up on the freaky fast one to go. But like you said, a green-white checkered with a very event-filled race tonight here for the Maple Ridge Racing Series. It's been really exciting, really great to be back, Zach, especially at a short track league as this. But we knew this was going to be a handful, and these guys have delivered. They've been really struggling, but they haven't faltered yet. They keep going, and it looks like all but really one, maybe two of the cars are still on the track. So for the most part, everyone's surviving and just making sure they're good to go here at the end of the race.
Yeah, no doubt indeed. This two-lap shootout is going to be fun to see who can get it done. Will we get a new winner? Will Zach Unson make something happen from the 4th position? We'll have to see here. Pace car's going to be coming in this time.
Pace car in, green flag is in the air. Restart away. RS Center with a great restart. Mario Orcolani, not the restart he needed to make a charge on the 110. Will he be able to get through turn 2 and 3 and 4? Maybe have a little bit of something for the 110 here at the end of this race. We see a lot of side-by-side driving. White flag is out, and it is the freaky fast white flag, and it is waved. The leader is taken. The white flag, the next flag ends the race, and here is Mario. He's getting up there into striking range down the back straightaway, going into turn 3. Everyone single file trying to do the best they can. Mario right on the bumper of the 110, but it's not going to be enough. Exiting turn 4, 110. RS Center is going to take the checkered flag here tonight at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Wow, Zach, that was quite a while in building, but that was a really exciting finish.
Great job by RS there to get the win. And what a way to do it here at the Nashville Fairgrounds. One of the toughest racetracks out there. And man, he got it done here tonight under a lot of pressure, having to control those restarts. That is not easy to do. And he beat a champion there in that 41. So great job on the 110 for kicking off his season with a bang here in the second race.
Definitely our hats off to RS Center. Really took control on the race, on the real start, and just did not look back. But as we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we will have our top 3 finishers from the race. So we will be right back. Welcome back, race fans. You just saw 100 laps of really fast-paced action here for the Maple Ridge Racing Series at Nashville Fairgrounds, and we have our top three finishers. We're, of course, going to start off with our number 3 position finisher, Ronald Cole. Ronald, welcome to the broadcast booth. You started third. You had an incident. You overcame that finish third. Walk us through that and how tough this track was to tame.
Yeah, it was real slick coming in entry. Um but kind of glad that I overcame that, that little incident in the beginning to, be patient enough to, find my marks and stuff like that to get back to third place finish.
Definitely a good drive back there for Ron Saka. Also up here in the booth, man. Congrats on third. Next week we head off to Phoenix. How you feel about heading off there into Phoenix for the third race of the season, man?
Phoenix is a tough track. If it's the old school Phoenix, I'm not used to it. But the newer style Phoenix, you know, that NASCAR series runs, um, I'm pretty good at it. But we'll see. It just depends on the set and what the temperature is and stuff like that.
Well, that'll be definitely interesting to see at Phoenix and see these cars run. Before we let you go, Ronald, anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Alex for inviting me to the league. It was a pretty good night. Great competition, especially Mario and RS. I've raced with them in numerous leagues, and it was an honor, because just starting out, only being on here for about 6 months, to race with them guys up in the top three was pretty fun.
Well, it was fun to watch, sir. Good, congratulations on a top 3. Good luck next week.
Thank you. Have a good night.
And that was Ronald Cole, our third position finisher. Right now, we have our second place finisher, Mario Ercolani. Mario, I hope I'm saying your name right. You had a great run. You seem to have the speed of the 110 in front of you. What did you need more to make that pass there at the end?
Yeah, you got the name right, by the way. Thank you. Green flag laps would have helped. I think RS is always fast, but I think a green run would have helped me. We got side by side in the middle of the race there for a few laps, and the caution came out and kind of negated that. So I think if we had 10, 15, 20 laps to race there, it might have been able to put on a show with him.
Yeah, it definitely was would have been an interesting battle there if we got some of those green flag laps like you talked about there, Mario. But congrats still, man, on second here tonight. It was a good drive. It seemed like those restarts were definitely an interesting little battle between you two there up front. And how hard is that there on that outside trying to time that and get that that lead, because he got that lead there from you on the very start, but it seemed like from there he had a pretty good control of it.
Yeah, having the lead and being able to control the restart is always crucial because you decide when it goes other than the original start of the race, and you can just get the jump on guys. You want to jump in, but I can't without doing it and doing it wrong. So props to RS for controlling that race the way he did.
And that was great fun to watch either way, Mario. We have Phoenix next week. Are you going to have another battle with RS there for the front as well?
Well, I sure hope so. Seems like he's got some speed. Ronald was definitely fast. I know Zach is too. So we got some speed with these guys. We should have some pretty good racing this season for sure.
We're definitely looking forward to it. Anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight before we let you go and celebrate?
Yeah, I want to thank Elite Performance Industries. They're always a big help to me. And congrats to RS on the win.
Well, thank you. Good luck next week at Phoenix.
Thank you, guys.
That was our second place finisher, Mario Ercolani. I'm glad I'm saying that right. So good job to Mario. But here we are, our winner, RS Center. RS, you really took control on that really initial start of the race, never looked back. A lot of the drivers behind you were struggling, but you kind of made it look easy. What's really clicked on this track for you tonight?
Just a good setup. I like a lot. Helps.
Yeah, definitely RS. You definitely had a good control of it here tonight, man, in that 110. And, What what was the big plan there for leading out front? And especially with all the yellows, you had to control all those restarts. How did you change it up from time to time, not to be predictable?
The same spot, not to jump it too bad. I didn't want Mario, and just try to control the race from the restarts. We never got no long runs. I wish we could have. I think the racing would have been better if we could have got some, but
Definitely short of the green flag runs, but you still made it work, RS. Phoenix next week. What can we expect? You're going to be out there front and battling for the lead again?
I hope so. Hopefully, Mario and me can good show again next week.
Well, we are looking forward to it, RS. Before we let you go celebrate your win, anyone you want to give a shout out to tonight?
Yeah, thanks to Alex for putting the league on. I sent him a message last week on Facebook. Thanks for inviting me over. You guys for doing the broadcast. EPI for doing the setups, all that stuff.
Well, awesome. Congratulations on your win, RS. You have a good night, sir.
Hey, thank you.
Well, you saw it here with me and Zach, RS Center winning the 100 laps here at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway for round number 2 of the Maple Ridge Racing Series. Zach, here we are. The standings for tonight are not necessarily surprising. RS Center taking the lead, Mario Orcolani second place, Ronald Cole. So all those guys started in the top 3 positions. They finished in the top 3. But Zach Onsen started 11th, finished 4th. Steven Hassett finished 6th, stayed in there right around there the entire time. But Mike D'Amico, he was battling there for the 3rd place position. Started last, finished 6th due to an unfortunate race incident. Kurt Batty finishing 7th there. Ryan Skalny in 8th. Alex Maronelli in 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Jonathan Dickerman there in the 13th machine. The rest of the field really kind of struggled, especially in the back half, trying to avoid everyone, Zach. So next week's race at Phoenix is going to be really interesting.
Oh, no doubt indeed. It's going to be interesting, Carl. It's going to be super fun to see how the dynamic changes from track to track with this super late model. Here at the National Super Speedway tonight, I think the big thing we're going to take out of this track is treacherous. It was super treacherous on the exits. These guys are having a tough time keeping these cars underneath them. But that's the beauty of it. That's high horsepower, short track racing. And that's the beauty of, a bumpy, old abrasive surface like this at the Nashville Fairgrounds. So what a fun race we had with that battle. But man, oh man, it was super, super fun to call all this action here tonight for these guys.
Super fun indeed. And ladies and gentlemen, don't miss out on all the other action Freaky Fast Broadcasting has lined out for you throughout the week. We are always on, always displaying some racing. So check us out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you give a shout out to everyone, and just know that we are all rooting for you. Everyone can stay and be friendly. And most of all, until our next broadcast, keep it freaky fast.